Earth Incorporated. What does that mean? Are we a penal colony, a slave colony? Have we been separated from the rest of the other continents? And I will pull that up right now, just for people who aren't sure what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Here we are here. South America, North America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia. These are the continents beyond our 360 degree ice wall, yeah? These are the other continents. Now let's say this is real. Why have we been shut off from the rest of the of reality? Why have we been shut off? Why have we been closed off? Who's made that decision to lie to us, to make us think we're living on a ball spinning through space in a 10 to the minus 17 tall vacuum? Why would you go to all those lengths to pull the wool over our eyes? Why? And who's making that decision? And why are we being cut off from the other civilizations out there? Are we some kind of subspecies of, are we like, second-rate citizens? And are they doing business with corporations outside in this area here? Are they doing business? And we're going to look at that too. The Antarctic Treaty and related agreements, collectively known as the Antarctic Treaty System, regulate international relations with respect to Antarctica, Earth's only continent without a native human population. Surprise, surprise. It was the first arms control agreement established during the Cold War, setting aside the continent as a scientific preserve, establishing freedom of scientific investigation and banning military activity for the purposes of the treaty system. Antarctica is defined as all the land and ice shelves south of the 60th degree south latitude, which is this. That's your south latitude. I wish I could put the two side by side, but I can't. Since September 2004, the Antarctic Treaty Secretariat, which implements the treaty system, is headquartered in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The main treaty was opened for signature on December the 1st, 1959, the year after NASA was formed in 1958. See, when Admiral Byrd went out to the Antarctic with the biggest peacetime fleet in history, 5,000 men, 10 ships, planes, helicopters, the whole shamooli, they went there to take out the breakaway civilization that the Nazis had started and are still there today. They probably went out to here or one of these. If they're going out from, there's America, so they probably went out this way because this one here looks the nearest. So they went to try and get out here, but they were stopped by the breakaway civilization. And I'm going to show you some proof for that breakaway civilization at the end of the video. Save the best till last. So when they realised that there was an etheric dome over us and the world was flat, officially flat, they had to get control of space, so they formed NASA, which in Hebrew means Nasa, which means to deceive. And then they started the Antarctic Treaty a year later. They had to get everything wrapped up, tied off and secure. Okay. The main treaty was opened for signature on December the 1st, 1959 and officially entered into force on June 23rd, 1961. The original signatories were the 12 countries active in Antarctica during the International Geophysical Year of 1957-58. Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom and the United States. When did those last three, the Soviet Union, United Kingdom and the United States, ever agree to do anything? I was brought up believing that we were at war with the Soviets, a Cold War, and we should all be feared. When I was in the army, we were told they were the enemy. Yet they're signing treaties together. These countries had established over 55 Antarctic research stations for the IGY, and the subsequent promulgation of the treaty was seen as a diplomatic expression of the operational and scientific cooperation that had been achieved as of 2019. The treaty has 54 parties. These are your signatories. All these countries, basically the whole of this flat realm, have signed up to it. Why? Because they don't have a choice. They've all got to take responsibility for not letting people out of this prison realm. Excuse me. We're not allowed out, and people have tried to get out. They have tried in the past, and I'm going to show you a short video in a minute of that happening. So that is the Antarctic Treaty. Now, this is what I'm going to go on to. This book was written in 1902. It's called The Iron Republic. And it was an original published in Florida Magazine in 1902 by Richard James Morgan. And I'll just give you a quick pre-say. You can't buy it as a hardback book, but you can buy it on Kindle. Why is that? So you can't pass it on to your friend after you've read it. Quote, first published as a monthly serial in Florida Magazine in 1902, The Iron Republic tells an extraordinary story of Mr. E. W. Barrington's sea journey in the late 1800s, to Antarctica, where he found a passageway through the massive ice wall and a highly developed civilization, both technically and socially speaking. Either as fact or fiction, it is a rare story and presents an ideal of society and government that will make the average reader long to be a citizen of the newly discovered Iron Republic. Yeah, we would want to all be citizens of the Iron Republic, especially compared to the shithole that we live in here. Anyway, moving on. But there's hope, because once the flat earth truth becomes the new normal, then all this will be open to us. It's only our rulers within here that want us to stop. I don't think the civilizations out on the outer continents, I mean, I'm obviously speculating, but from what I've read in this book, they seem quite agreeable and affable and nice people. Now, there might be some bad ones that are working in conjunction with the breakaway civilization that have got their hooks into us here. Who knows? Again, I'm speculating. So what I want to do is, I think what they've done is they've come out here. Now this gate apparently is only open in the summertime. These gates open, and then in the wintertime they close back up. Now I would imagine with the submarines that they can just go underneath it. I don't know how deep the ice wall goes in the ocean, but I would imagine that excuse me, submarines could probably get in and out of there as they please. But otherwise you have to wait for the summer to come, and these gates will naturally open up. So they've found a way through here to keep the mind under control. You put it in a big pen, right? So that was originally the big pen, and the mind is us human beings, right? So this was at the beginning. Now to control, because you don't want to scare the horse or scare us, you very slowly tighten the cordon. So what they've done is, it might have been like this originally, and then they tightened to this, and then whenever it was 200 years ago or whatever ago, when this takeover came, they tightened the cordon. You've got to do it very slowly so the horse or us don't realize the cordon is being made smaller and smaller. So you start telling us that we live on a ball, right, and we're in space, and that it's just singular alone, then we've got no concept at all of thinking or believing that there's anything beyond. They say, oh, it's aliens and stuff like that, and billions of light years away. There's a whole industry being based on this bullshit. So what they've done is they've slowly made the corral smaller and smaller as time has gone on. Say from 9/11, they started imposing restrictions on travel. Now with what's gone off in the last 2 years, the restrictions that have been imposed on us, and some of those restrictions are going to stay. So they've tightened the noose a bit tighter. They brought the cordon in, they put the cordon into there, but the more restrictions that they're putting in, then they're going to make it even tighter. So they don't want people travelling so much from place to place to place. They want you staying within the confines of your country or your area. This is all planned for the future.